I just mash on the character select screen, it goes straight to near future, so I'll be starting there. So near future is about a young orphan teenager named Akira Tarokoro. His dad was killed by biker gangs. He was a riot police officer. He was killed by a biker gangster, and that's why he's in an orphanage. Anyway, we get to see a little bit of the combat right away. It takes place on a 7x7 grid. You can kind of move freely on the field, one tile at a time, and you have a bunch of different moves that can that have different ranges and different AOE's. Some of the moves like this one are multi-hit, and what else was I gonna say? There's no basic attack command or MP bar or anything. So everything is either just from your list of skills or something from the inventory. Would have liked to see an item drop there. It's fine. I have 2 more chances to get it. All right, so we're gonna sing the good luck song now for best of luck during the run. Ima wa mukashi no Babilonia Hagare no kobushi ga ten no tsuku Igyo no majin no taosu tame Hikari de hi o tomose Atsui kokoro ga Yobisamasu Buburiki Dai o Ware to ari. So that song promises us a lot of giant robots, but we gotta wait a little bit till we get to that part. So this is the orphanage that we live in. It's called Bright Sparks Orphanage. There's another little kid who lives here named Watanabe. He's kind of our little errand boy, so we're gonna go tell him to get some bandages for us because we just got into a fight and we need some first aid. He gives us the first aid kit here. You can use that in battle, but I rarely ever have to, and it's not useful. So here's our sister, Kaori. She's got a pet turtle who's like really sick. So we're gonna go see our doctor friend, Dr. Toei. See if he knows how to treat turtles. So on the overworld city map, there are a bunch of guys walking around. You get into a fight if you run into one of them. In this version of the game, their movement is determined by your proximity to them, and it's completely predictable. And you just walk in the same path every time. You'll never get hit. In the original, they were a lot more random, so they were harder to dodge. Anyway, he says he'll be right there. He tries to teleport us back to the orphanage, but the teleporter breaks. So we gotta walk. That might have been a bit too early. Let's see if I get away with it. Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. Alright, so Doc Toei is going to come help treat the turtle. So what he's actually done is he's taken the turtle's like spirit essence and put it inside a robot. So that was his that's his idea of reviving someone. And this kind of introduces us to the concept of liquefaction, which is when you take someone's essence and liquefy it and use it to power a robot. It's an important plot point later. Here's a side quest where you sit on a toilet a bunch of times. Actually, it's not a side quest. You have to do it to progress, which is why I'm doing it. Although the final item I get from this is going to get a tiny bit of use. So we're going to go back to the antique shop. because Dr. Toei has more errands for us. Interestingly, if you hold diagonals, you'll buffer turns on these streets. So it's pretty easy to get around if you know what you're doing. That's an interesting question, actually. The devs of Chrono Trigger. This actually came out before Chrono Trigger originally, although the director, whose name I can't remember, I know his last name is Tokita, but he also was one of the 3 co-directors of Chrono Trigger. And you can see there's a lot of precursors to various elements of Chrono Trigger in this game. So yeah, here's the stairs. Everybody loves stairs. You have to walk up and down them 3 times. This is the second of 3. Takashi Tokita. Yeah, that's right. I knew it began with T. Okay, so he says we gotta to touch this pink elephant, then read his notebook, then play the xylophone, and tickle the mask. And then go all the way down the stairs again. Oh, we have to go up and down the stairs 4 times, not 3. That's right. You have to go up the stairs here after this. So in the original Super Famicom game, you could actually skip this entire part. You just talk to Toei and he gives you the instructions, then you can just leave and go back to the orphanage. But in this version, I believe the story triggers aren't there. So anyway, the giant thing in the basement is a giant mech called the Steel Titan. It can only be powered with psychic powers, which I didn't even mention this. Akira is psychic, so he has psychic powers and can read people's minds. So we think he's a great candidate to help power the robot. So here we're gonna step on the gas here. Okay, so that lever doesn't work. So we'll try this one. No, not that one doesn't work either. What about this one? Nope. This one? Nope. That's one I tried already. Alright, so we couldn't power the robot, so that's life. We'll just move on with our day. No, that was wrong. Don't do that. Should have waited a little bit longer there. Cut the screen, reset. Okay. So the way I had moved there had caused that one enemy to turn left instead of continue down. The thing is, if you run into enemies on the world map, you can run away for free from any fight in this entire game. But Akira in particular has the flee options replaced with teleport, and that has a chance to send you back to the orphanage. Which I was headed to the orphanage anyway, but it takes longer to do it like that. Because transitioning in and out of battle is kind of slow compared to the original. So this is the second of 3 fights that I have that has a chance to drop the napalm grenade. It's very rare to get it from this one, but the first and third ones are a little bit more common. Did not get it. Did not expect to get it. Alright, so the biker gang called the Crusaders has come to kidnap some orphans. So we have to go rescue this guy. We have to chase him around several times. No, actually, in every chapter, you have a 100% chance to flee from well, fleeable battles. Some aren't fleeable, but running is always guaranteed in this game. Neat. Alright, so we're getting into it. This is pretty much identical to the first fight, except for this time Taro is here, the turtle. He's kind of in the way. I can use him to my advantage here. Alright, let's see the grenade. No! Alright, I have to do a really slow backup. You really would like to see the napalm grenade because not having it is not only slow, but it's also kind of dangerous. So anyway, the Crusaders are up to no good. They're at a secret laboratory off to the right here. We could go straight to the laboratory, but we actually have to go and read our sister's mind first for some reason. Kaori is also like really sick and bedridden, and that's gonna be important later. Alright, here comes the laboratory section. I'm gonna be fleeing from every fight. So the teleport backfire where it sends you back to the orphanage only happens on the town map, so it won't happen here. So I'll be teleporting everything. I'm pretty much guaranteed to hit one encounter here at least. The movement that they did was a little unusual. I think I can still get past them though. Yeah, okay, I'm fine. Once I run from this, I have a straight shot to the door. So you usually hit two extras here. If you're lucky, you can just get one, but doesn't usually happen. So I'm gonna go to this locker room here. I actually have to check both these lockers because I didn't get the grenade. So here's a swag little dodge right here. You just hold up and left and you'll go right behind them and he can't hit you. So this is the first example in the run of a breakdown fight. If you see someone with a flag above their head, if you defeat that enemy, everyone else on the screen will disappear. Yeah. So see, the dog is okay. He's just retreating. He doesn't know what to do without his master. And this is the fight that I would have used a napalm grenade on. I would have taken out all the leaders at the same time. I gotta do something like this. Oh my god. So yeah, so Taro can counterattack. It's why I don't like him. Okay, I actually don't need the knife. I'll use it anyway, so it's not in my inventory. Oh, you can only use it diagonally? Alright. Sorry, live routing on the marathon, I guess. I always reset if I don't get the grenade, napalm grenade, so I like am lost as to what to do here. But it's fine. We got through it. Insult to injury right there. Okay, so Lawless just joined the party again, so we're gonna gear him up to have a stronger weapon and put him in the front so he goes first. Titan counter dodge coming up. Got it, easy. And now here's a fight that we can't avoid because he's standing in front of a door. Yeah, something like this. Actually, ideally, I don't want him to hit Taro because I don't want to watch the counterattack animation. I don't like the way he's moving. So yeah, Akira is kind of bait here because Taro will counterattack and Matsu can die and we don't want him to, so generally, if you attack someone from behind, you'll do more damage and you'll be more accurate, but the degree to which is true depends on the enemy. I got love potion number 9. So every enemy has a side attack correction and back attack correction value. What it'll do is if you attack from the side or from behind, it will subtract that number from the enemy's level, and they'll be treated as if they are that level by the attack. That's something I can go into later in more detail. I almost never dodge this encounter. I don't think you can at this one. So enemy movement is somewhat affected by FPS. I used to run this game at 60 on my old computer, and I would sometimes dodge that. But now that I run at 120, I never seem to dodge it. Alright, so here's a boss called Liquid Human. LH Combat Unit W1. Here's a silly little Easter egg where if you hit him in the back, he has a counterattack that'll cause him to self-destruct. So that boss has a truckload of HP and hits really hard, so it's just better not to deal. So it's not really accurate to call this game isometric, but you'll notice everybody's facing a diagonal. A side attack is when you hit someone, and if they need to turn around once to face you, it's a side attack. If they need to turn around twice, it's a back attack. That's pretty much it. So we found out that the scientists and the gangsters are kidnapping people and using their liquid souls to power robots. Kaori offers her own liquefied soul to as a sacrifice to power the robot since we can't do it normally. And then Matsu says, no, I'm going to try to do it myself. And then he tried, and he ran off to the bar because he couldn't do it. So we got to read his mind. And we got to dip. Alright, so while we were at the bar, the gangsters came by the orphanage and they put on my mixtape. So Kaori is in here, and so we're going to go rescue her. But the door that she's behind is on fire. In order for it to stop being on fire, we need to check every other door. Yes, that's actually true. That robot was Watanabe's dad. We also have to check these 2 doors. In addition to the other doors. And now the door's not on fire anymore, so we can go say hi to Kaori and read her mind. Alright, so there's 25 cutscene skips here. What happened was Matsu went off to the bar, Apparently they were serving magic mushrooms there, so he took some to activate his latent psychic powers, and he's able to pilot the robot for a little bit. Now he's dying of an overdose. So we're going to have to take over for him, because we have real psychic powers. And right before he dies, he confessed that he's the one that killed our dad. So now we get to pilot the Steel Titan. And this is like the power trip section of the chapter. There's 4 fights here. We hope for good formations. That's so the move I'm using is an AoE that takes up 4 tiles up and down, so we want them to kind of group up so I can hit them all at the same time. Halogen Laser has a charge time. I think it's the first time we're introduced to charge time. So the way time works in this game is it doesn't like move automatically, but it you see there's a charge gauge, or there's kind of there's a time gauge above my head. Every time I use an action, time will jump ahead to the next available action. Also, moving 1 tile counts as an action and increments time slightly, as does pressing L1 and R1 to turn your character around. It is kind of like an ATB system, but an ATB system would actually like advance automatically if you're idling. This looks like 5 up and down. I don't think I can... Yeah, unlucky. That's true. I didn't mention that either. If your position is moved during battle while you are charging your a chargeable move, you will get interrupted. That's more something that we want to use to our advantage in some of the other chapters. What? Oh, I forgot to change my move. Whoops. Right, hang on. So this formation is always going to be filling the entire screen, so it's always going to be 2 turns. This one's going to be 3 turns because I messed up, but we won't talk about that. Ah, there's so many of them. Ah! Okay. Thankfully, none of them had another attack shoot up during my charge time, so it went off right away. Anyway, as you can see, the Steel Titan has a ton of health, so you're pretty much not going to die ever when you're playing as him. Okay, so this is only 1 target, so I'm going to pick a move that does more damage. If I'm lucky, which I'm not, because that got a low damage roll there. If I'm lucky, this is over in 3 turns. But this will probably take at least 4. Also, he lowered my physical defense. There are some attacks in this game, and Babylon Stomp is one of them, that scale off of physical defense for their damage, which sounds odd. But, yeah, me getting my defense lowered wasn't good. Okay. 4 turns is, I mean, obviously it's the second best outcome after 3 turns. I was worried it would take 5. Alright, so now we're going to go up against our final battle of this chapter, which is a giant chicken statue. So these guys were, I guess, turning people into liquid to for religious reasons. They're trying to appease a false chicken idol. of some kind. This is also the first Megalomania of the run, so feel free to spam the chat with dancing emotes. There's another strat for this fight where you can start the fight with Marduk's Rage and try to go for a status effect that will cause me to do double damage. Mild spoiler, I am gonna have to do this fight again later, so I can show it off. I can show off that strat then. Alright, so this is the move I don't want to see. This disables Babylon Stomp. If it misses, it won't miss. It will inflict me with that anti-foot status, so which means I can't use Babylon Stomp. I've probably done this fight like hundreds and hundreds of times, and only once have I ever seen that move not proc the no feet status, but it has happened to me before. So that wasn't like really a boss fight, that was just kind of a... it was kind of a joke, but it looks awesome, so we'll go with it. So I don't understand the ending of this chapter. He wakes up on a park bench and well, he's about to like get eaten, swallowed by the liquid humans, and then he wakes up on a park bench or something. I don't know, but we won the day, I guess. All right, up next is I'm gonna go clockwise. So up next will be Distant Future. So this chapter takes place aboard a cargo ship called the Cogito Ergo Sum. You play as this robot, which the engineer of the ship built. Supposedly, he's also like the coffee boy as well, which I assume so, anyways, because he mostly just has Cube make coffee for everybody. I assume that was his job to begin with. You'll notice I renamed Cube there. I named him Apostrophe because he's a big Frank Zappa fan. You have to enter that name 2 more times, so it's better to have it be one character, and I just choose the key that's closest to enter. Anyway, here's Colonel Darth. He's like a military guy. Here is Huey Trumbull. He is I forget what his job is. Here's Rachel Klein, the signaler. Here's Kirk Wells, the helmsman. I think Huey is head of cargo. I think that was his job. So now we're gonna go into the rec room and make some coffee. I think when we try to make the coffee there, they yell at us and we're not allowed to make the coffee yet. So anyway, the crew is... what's happening on the ship is they are transporting a giant alien monster from some planet and bringing it back to Earth, I think. But now what's happened is that one of the antennas has died, so we're gonna send Kirk out there to fix it for us. By the way, I ran this at RPG Limit Break this year, and I kept calling him Kurt because I forgot his name was Kirk, so I apologize for that. That week I had been playing Trails of Cold Steel 3 in the hotel room. That might be why I got confused. Anyway, Kirk and Huey are mad at each other. So that's not good. There's no combat in this chapter until the very end. There's a boss fight. So a lot of it is walking simulator and elevator boss. I used to run a game for the PlayStation called Final Fantasy VIII. And it punished me for not touching it in a while by bringing back elevator boss in this game. This way. So while Kirk was out fixing the antenna, his spacesuit malfunctioned, and he's pretty much dead now. So not a great start to the mission. But I think we can still get the job done without him. Also, Rachel was involved with Kirk, so she's really sad, as you can see by her sprite there. I think I go back to the 3132312. Okay, so I go back to the 3rd floor. I do have all the floors memorized, but I had to think about that one for a second. I talked to Katu here. Make another coffee. This time we take the bottom door, because it's close to where we want to go next. I meant to, like, kind of refresh on what exactly happens in the story of this chapter. I remember, like, some of the bigger things that happen, but I don't really know. I don't really know what goes on here. Let me see. They found a book. I know that because the text box told me. Okay, 1st floor. So speedrunning this chapter is like, if you do everything correctly, the only thing that matters is like the RNG and the fight at the end. So here I'm going to go back and forth from the 1st floor to the 2nd floor for a while. We're going to go check on Kirk in the med bay. He appears to not be there. He must be sleepwalking. We must report back to Huey. Louie and Dewey, they're probably dead too. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so Rachel found went into the med bay and took Kirk's body out so that she can put him back in her bed. She's not really okay right now. Anyway, we're gonna go check on the cargo room. There was an alien specimen in this hold here. It's not here at the moment. So let's go report back. Oh, there he is. Alright, so this isn't good. Alright, so if you touch the behemoth, you instantly game over. He moves really slow, and so he's really easy to not get caught. And every time you even see him in this chapter is completely scripted. But that adds like an extra mechanic to the chapter. Anyway, Rachel said, I'm sorry that I was body snatching from the med bay. I won't do it again. And then she runs out to go get killed by the behemoth, I guess. And then Huey runs after her. Alright, so bad stuff is happening. We just lost 2 more crew members. They're dropping like flies. So we gotta figure out what's going on. Darth and Katsu are pretty much the only ones left, and they're quick to point fingers at each other. There's clearly a saboteur aboard the ship. In the original, the noise it made was more like a digital fart sound, but in this version, he sounds more like Lavos. So that's, I guess, another Chrono Trigger shout out. Oh, that's the captain of the ship. He was dead the entire time. We were talking to him on video conference, but it was just a recording. So here we find like some secret log that says, I don't remember what it says, but it makes the remaining crew members distrust each other even more. So here we're gonna get chased around by the behemoth for a little bit. We're to go down to this hallway here, and then a door's gonna close behind us. We've got to open it with the pry bar. Dip in and out of this hallway really quick. If I hadn't done that, there would have been like instant death juice coming out of the walls, and so I would have game overed if I tried to go to the elevator here. And then it turns out there's a susser aboard the ship. So there's a fake robot. We have to figure out which one is the real one. He asks us a question to make sure. The answer is Roundy. And now the elevator is broken. So we have to crawl through the vents in order to get from one floor to the next. So what happens is there's an artificial intelligence mechanism aboard the ship that's kind of in charge of safety, named OD-10. Unfortunately, OD-10 has been faced with a paperclip problem and is now killing everybody aboard the ship. This is definitely not the exact plot of an old sci-fi movie from the 60s. So we're going to visit Katu in his room and ask him about it.
Oh my god.
I'm going to say hi to the behemoth real quick. Duck into here so it goes away. And then we're going to talk to Darth, and he's going to give us a walkie-talkie. This is the part where we have to find out where OD-10 is hiding. If you look at the mini-map in the bottom left, it gets rid of all the quest markers. When I first played this, I was actually stuck for a long time and just ended up looking up where to go. You have to go to the rec room. He's hiding in the arcade machine. You know what? I meant to turn those on. I would have just done it for this chapter, because having the loading screen tips on actually does waste quite a bit of real time. But I forgot to turn them on. Alright, so here's the last boss of the chapter, the only boss. Ideally, I just use Maser Cannon twice. But probably I'm going to underdamage and I have to use it 3 times. Yeah, 168 is a dreadfully low damage roll. This is going to be 3 turns, probably. One thing I can do to try to facilitate this fight ending a little bit faster is move up 1 tile here. That way I'm in range to possibly finish him off with a counterattack. Well, that was another really low damage roll, so I probably won't finish him here. Jeez, what is with Cube's damage today? Anyway, it's over. So to end out the chapter, we got to make one last cup of coffee. Yeah, so every boss I fought so far has not really been much of a boss, but they'll get more trickier as it goes on. This is the second chapter out of 9. Sorry, 7, not 9, 7. Hush, hush. Okay, next is Twilight of Edo Japan. In this chapter, you're playing as a ninja who is in charge of rescuing a prisoner being held in a castle. The gimmick of this chapter is that there's 100 NPCs in here. You can try to kill all of them if you want, or you can try to kill none of them. We're going to be killing 5 of them. Both 0 to 100 kills are both considered challenge runs because there are some encounters that are kind of hard to avoid, or the method for avoiding them is kind of obtuse. And then similarly, there are ones that are really hard to find. So what you saw me do there was you saw me press the square button to hide from enemies. If you disappear in front of an enemy, you will drop their aggro completely. Also, occasionally there's a NPC standing in front of doors that will ask for a password. The password changes every time a bell rings, but that is the only time I will ever give a password, so I don't need to know it. Ghosts do not count as kills, and neither do demons or steampunk cyborg people or the people that we were sent here to confront. Or the Relentless Maid the first 15 or so times you kill her. So I've run this chapter at 2 marathons before. Both of those times there was an donation incentive to upgrade to pacifist. So I think this is my first time showing the standard route at a marathon. So there's some cool stuff in here. It's not all that different from pacifist. It's just faster mostly. You don't get to see the dummy side quest, unfortunately. So I got caught in the dungeon. I fell down the attic. I totally didn't do it on purpose. Anyway, the way you escape from prison is you hide until the guy opens the door for you, because he thinks that you escaped, so he's going to look for you. The prisoners here, we're actually not going to be rescuing the prisoner at all. We were sent here to rescue a prisoner, but we're going to be ignoring that mission completely, because it's slow. So these guys tell us to go away, so we say, okay. And then we're gonna go break into his storehouse. First item on the list, yes. We're gonna do a bit of leveling here. The way you learn moves in this game is just by leveling up, with most characters anyway. Some people learn moves through other means. So I'm gonna reach level 6 at a certain point, so I'm gonna get the bulk of that experience from these ghosts here. Yes, it also makes it so they have to kill 8 people, which is also kind of slow. Oh, I did not mean to open that chest. I did not mean to open that chest. For some reason I have pacifist brain. I don't know why. I haven't run pacifist in a long time. The way experience works in this game is it is a fixed 100 experience to get to the next level, but every time you level up, you get diminishing returns. So you don't get a fixed amount of experience from enemies. It's based on the difference between your level and theirs. And once you reach 100 experience, you don't get any more. So any excess experience does not carry over to the next level. So I'm going to defeat another round of these 3 ghosts, and then I'll call it there. I just learned Firefall, which can one-shot them, and has a faster animation than Water Spout. So that's what I'll be using. But the move that I actually want, which I learned at level 6, is Shuriken Barrage. I actually did not realize that, I didn't realize that enemy levels can be different from the party level, because... So encounter formations have a level value attached to them. That's actually what determines the XP gain. I didn't realize that if there's one enemy, you can still have a different level than the party. That's actually interesting. Yeah, this is pretty much just a fake Naruto ninja using jutsu and whatnot. Magic fire. Alright, so now we want to kill these guys so we can get inside the castle. Alright, those guys dropped the shrimp rice ball. I can't count on getting that drop, so I picked one up in the storehouse. You need it for one fight. Having an extra is good for healing later in a different fight. Yes, by level 16 you will have learned every character skill, but the level cap still goes all the way up to 99. I think a casual player will probably finish the game in the mid-20s. So here's an attic full of trapdoors. If you just keep to the path and just keep going, you'll never fall in. I think the trapdoor is actually proximity based and not timer based. It's not something I've looked into too much. There's a couple more items in here. Before I learn Shuriken Barrage, a lot of the damage output I have is going to be from damage items. One more attic trip. So here's a gauntlet of enemies, but I can just make a rope here and avoid all of them. I actually didn't know that. I know he's the guy that counts your kills, pretty much. Anyway, so here's the first boss. So this is a breakdown fight. You don't have to kill these guys, but they're annoying, so I'm gonna kill them anyway. But I'm gonna dump most of my damage items on him. The shrimp rice ball there was to increase my attack power and my accuracy. And ideally, these two items will take him out completely. He survived a little bit. Oh, he's poisoned. How much health does he have? 13. I probably don't finish here. Oh, okay, no, it does 44. I thought it would do a lot less. Oh. Wait till you hear what the requirement is to get 100 kills. You have to go through the entire castle without killing any women. And then go back and do it all again. Okay, so this is the 3 bucket heads. This is the probably most of the annoying fight. The most annoying fight in this run. Ideally, I take him out in 1 hit, and then I instead I underdamage and I don't. Gotta sit through that poison tick every time I want to attack them now. Alright. Nah, I trust. Yikes. So I believe it's coded in the enemy AI to not use moves that will inflict certain status effects if you already have them. That's how come I got away with him not using Poison Flute there, which would have finished me off. Yeah, they are 1 by 2. I just forgot, I guess. I could have stood in a better spot there. Alright, so now the prisoner got bored of waiting for me and broke out of jail. So, we have him as a party member. So, this guy's the ghost of Miyamoto Musashi. What he's mostly going to do on most turns is try to aggro onto the prisoner and use a charge move, which I can interrupt by repeatedly casting Warning Shot on him. That's a flipping around move, as I spoke about already. Flipping around moves will cancel charge time. North Star does a little bit more damage, so since he wasn't facing me, I decided to use it there. And that was a solid fight. And yeah, magical ninjas are a long-standing pop culture thing. You can see them in the video game Final Fantasy V. Oh, this is a 2-turn. That would be glorious. Oh, so close. Although this is a great opportunity for me to change my memory cursor to Shuriken Barrage in preparation for the next... Actually, no. There's one more fight I have to use Butterflies on. Never mind. I'm an idiot. So anyway, that was a ghost. She's not a person. It doesn't matter. Alright, so you can accept this woman's item here. If you wait around for 10 more seconds, she comes back and gives you another item. When I ran this at Limit Break, I mentioned this, but I said it wasn't useful and I didn't take it. And then very shortly after that, this was actually incorporated into the route. Because it turns out that being able to carry the lacquered medicine box into the final chapter lets you skip a different damage item that takes longer than 10 seconds to pick up. So the wait time actually pays for itself. And then it also makes possible a different strategy, which would have been difficult to incorporate otherwise. So this is Ode Io. He's the master of the castle. I think I finish him here. This is kind of a warm-up fight though, because he's got a final form. So on the subject of Chrono Trigger references, here we've got a guy turning into a frog. The strategy here is to just use Shuriken Barrage repeatedly. Using it the first time will cause him to become dizzy. Ideally, he just wanders around aimlessly instead of trying to go for my characters, and I can kind of just unlock him. Occasionally, he'll come back to his senses and put a bunch of poison tiles on the ground. I hope he doesn't do that. Finish here. Okay, good. Simple. Simple and clean. Whee! So we've done it. We've rescued the prisoner and saved the city. The prisoner was actually Sakamoto Ryoma from Real Life History. So, what a surprise. What a plot twist. Alright, next. Imperial China. Here in the Imperial China chapter, Imperial China chapter, you are playing as a old kung fu master. At the end of his life, he's like 100 years old. He's had his entire life to like find students to pass his martial arts mastery onto, but I guess he was procrastinating, and now he's gonna go find 3 random people and see if it works out. Alright, coming is the big Pog Tiger Skip. Hopefully I get it. So we do a loop-de-loop right here. We'll try to hang to the right here. Now we're accosted by a bandit. Get ready for a real funky jam. Everybody was kung fu fighting! I don't pick up the boots. They're not useful at all. So, we found our first disciple. And we have indeed nailed the tiger skip, so that's pretty cool. If you don't close the distance between you and the tiger just a little bit, then he will bottleneck you in that narrow passageway there, and you'll be forced to take the fight. You saw I used a move called Wise Fox's Grace. It's pretty much the only move that the Shifu has that's really worth anything. It's a big AoE and it does a lot of damage. The other ones have more niche uses. And you'll actually end up seeing most of them during the training session. No, it's actually the opposite. The boots used to be in the route, and then I decided they weren't useful and took them out. So that was a bad formation. Ideally, you can hit everybody at the same time. So we're going to leave Yun behind for now, simply because the voice line that plays for that dialogue option is shorter. But we'll get him on the way back to the house. Yun is another one of our 3 disciples. And I guess I'll spill the beans here. Yun's going to be the main disciple that we use for the end of the chapter. So here's the third one. Another thief. His name, if you play the original game, you'll know him as Samo, but they changed his name to Hong for the English translation. For the end game, yeah, Lei's pretty good, but we're not going to be using any of these people in the end game. Lei was actually nerfed pretty hard in this version. Her best move, which was like called like waterfowl kick or something, Kingfisher's Tantrum, that's what it was. So it has like a really awkward angle. It can only hit like one tile at like a diagonal distance of like 3 tiles or something. And it has pretty lengthy charge time. In the original, the trade-off was that it did enormous damage, but it just doesn't do the same damage in this one, and it's kind of disappointing. Most people do use the Disciple in their playthroughs in the final chapter simply because they spawn right next to a required item. So everybody's going to find them if they want to beat the game. Alright, so the primary reason why Yun gets used is because he has the least health, and it's therefore faster to train him. If I low roll here, he lives. 1 HP. In the final chapter, Yun and Lei should be equal, unless Lei has some other stipulation. So here's the training section. We have to fight our disciples 12 times in a row. Whoever gets trained the most becomes the successor. So I'm going to focus exclusively on Yun, and the other 2 will never be seen again. Every time, so your disciple will gain experience when you train them. Every time they level up, they'll learn one of the moves that you used on them, in that battle. So technically, the fastest thing to do would be to just spam Wise Fox's Grace over and over again. Wise Fox's Grace can inflict the disable arms and disable legs. Or both. The problem is if that doesn't happen, if I use it on Yun, then he'll counter with Wise Fox's Grace. If he knows Wise Fox's Grace, he'll counter with it. And that can cause problems. So, monkey, I guess. So I'm going to be manipulating it so he only learns other moves, and he won't learn Wise Fox until the very end. Because every other move that you have takes priority over Wise Fox's Grace. Do you have to? Oh, do you have to fight Lei? I wouldn't know. Anyway, Yun's not gonna get a level here, so I can just spam Wise Fox's Grace on him, and he won't learn it. Okay, I didn't know that. I think I want to use this here now. This might finish him. Oh, no, not particularly close either.
まだまだじゃ。ないのか。軽やかなることシマリスのごとく。
This consistent strategy of teaching him other moves is kind of new, and I'm still working out what order to use them in. That's optimal.
あ、来なさい。まだまだ。何？それそれ。
Get used to this song, by the way. It plays a lot. But like I said, it's super funky. There's a really nice bass line, some good Hammond organ.
来なさい。それそれ。何？
Wait, there's one. Oh yeah, there is one more. I thought I was on the last one already. So in this version of the game, this is probably my least favorite chapter. It's really not that exciting. It's kind of just this over and over again for a while, and then it's more repetitive fights later. It's not particularly exciting in the original game either. However, I think Prehistory is a lot worse to play in the original.
Cool.
Okay, I do get a level here, so I gotta... What's the last one I haven't done? I think it's Tiger and Dragon. I should have moved left there, not up. Alright, get out of here. So there was a time when I was a little bit more naive, and I was hopeful that we would be able to incorporate the Mammoth King into the run. Then I tried actually doing it, and it's annoying, to say the least. So okay, so now I'm just going to use Wise Fox for the rest of the training session. Specifically, I was trying to set up a save file for the final chapter IL that tried to beat the Mammoth King at a lower level. And I could have gone even lower than I did. I did it at level 9. You can do it at like level 8 or 7. But it's kind of RNG garbage. But yeah, the Mammoth King drops... or he has a chance to drop an item called the Cola Bottle, which is the most OP thing I think I've ever seen in any RPG. Alright, last fight. Let's go. I hope I win this one. I do eventually want Yun to learn Wise Fox's Grace, because it's the best thing he has until he learns other moves. But I delayed it as long as I could, so as not to run into trouble during the training session. Alright, so, Some ragamuffins have been raising a ruckus at the market, so we will be accosting them. Bring in all the high school vocabulary on that sentence. Sakeda, sakeda. Kuimanda, kuimanda. Onada, onada. Okay, this is a good formation. Actually, no, it's not, because I can't hit the guy on the bottom. That stinks. I don't think I've ever seen this one, actually. So, all the townspeople are thrilled that we took care of the bad guys for us, and they'll have items for us, pretty much. I'm just going to pick up this one, because it raises special attack, which is actually very good for Yun. The moves that we use with him scale off of special attack, and they scale off of it pretty hard, actually. Yeah, Cola Bottle pretty much does always 9 and 9 on most things. So even if they nerfed it, you don't even notice. But it's still infinitely reusable. It still has no charge time. It still penetrates. It still has all the stupid properties. I mean, it makes sense that the reward from the hardest boss in the game is going to be very good. Wish more games would do that. Usually they just give you an item that says, like, proof of Omega weapon or whatever. So a bunch of dudes came and killed Lei and Hong. This debates a lot of people in their casual playthroughs because they try to train everybody evenly during the training session, only for the other two people to just get killed. So, epic prank. Is the Cola Bottle a pop culture reference? It is a reference to the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy. So anyway, we're gonna go visit the Indomitable Fist, the dojo of the Indomitable Fist, who are the people responsible for ransacking our house and murdering our disciples. And we're gonna get some revenge. We told Yun to stay behind, but he's gonna catch up with us at some point. Everybody was kung fu fight. Hang on. I don't think I can hit both of them. Alright, get this guy first because he's facing me. Oh, he can hit behind him? Well, today I learned. I probably knew that. Anyway, that was a bad formation, but I played it wrong. I shouldn't have gone near them. Anyway, here Yun catches up with us. There's supposed to be like 9 guys here, but Yun, I think, takes out a bunch of them in a cutscene, so there's only 5. Oh, this is bad. I got body blocked. But yeah, for the next 10 minutes or so, I think this music is going to be the only music that exists. Until Megalomania, anyway. Anyway, this is like a gauntlet of enemies. Some of them are dodgeable, like this tiger here. You gotta hide in this corner until he passes you, and then you can get around pretty safely. On the way out of dodging these guys, you can pick up this Fushi Feather. It's useful in a number of places, but I only have one of them, so I gotta pick one place. This tiger is not dodgeable, but you can flee him and then just walk around him. Alright, here I gotta do a loop-de-loop number 1, number 2, and then I can pass right by everybody easily. As far as I can tell, this fight is not avoidable, and it's also not fleeable if you run into it, so gotta take it. Oh, they have decided not to attack me. I think they can't, actually. That might be why they're not doing it. Alright, so this fight's going really well. Kick rocks. Butt munch. Get out of here. That fight can be annoying. It can drag on for a while. Back when the route got Hong, that fight was actually kind of dangerous because Hong doesn't join until here. And so you had to do that alone with the Shifu. Anyway, here's the next boss of the chapter. A table. This is where the Fushi Feather gets used. I also could have used it on the previous fight. It would have saved a good amount of time. I decided I like it. I like it best to use here, but yeah, there's a useful in a number of places. I never gave Yun the equip. He doesn't need it until like way later, but I don't want to forget to do it. So you can run from these guys, but they're blocking you. And you'd probably just run into them 3 times and have to run away 3 times. It's faster to just get rid of them.
Yes.
And now Yun's gonna learn his first original move, I guess, Ice Brand's Bite. He starts with 2 others, but just they don't matter. So if you thought we were done, we're not. We got another boss gauntlet to go through. It's time to enter the Wu-Tang. First up is the RZA and the Jizza. I should have moved up 1 tile there. Not punished? Not punished. Alright, up next is the exact same fight, pretty much. Ghostface and Raekwon. Alright, I'll stop. Mara Mara. Sore Sore. Alright, next is a couple of big guys. There's actually a pretty interesting strategy here. You can, I can kind of use Yun to bait them into coming near each other, so I can hit both of them with Shifu. He can hit me from there. I don't know why I went next on that tile. Oh, I guess he can't hit me from there. Never mind. Please continue with the Wu-Tang names. Do I even remember all of them? Method Man and Inspector Deck. I guess that's what these guys are. I don't know why I passed there. I hope this finishes. Alright, up next is the same as the other fight. I'm going to treat it a little bit differently because the guy on the right actually resists Wise Fox, so they're going to trade, Shifu and Yun are going to trade places here. But otherwise, it's the same fight, but just flipped around. That's cringe. Yeah, so I think this game is really good, but you can kind of tell it's an older game because of stuff like this. Alright, well, we're not getting him back. Oh, I could talk about, I guess I could talk about the incapacitation mechanic in this game. If your characters get 0 HP, they will be knocked out. They can't do anything, but if you use any method of healing, you'll bring them back to life. However, they can still be targeted by enemies, and if they take any damage while they're downed, they will be ejected from the fight permanently. They will not gain experience. They will gain experience if they're just sleeping, but if they get knocked out, they will not. But Shifu doesn't get experience anyway. Okay, I can hit all three of them here. I should have moved one to the left. I think the one on the red can still hit. Though frankly, I think Shifu gets annihilated by counterattacks here. This is like one of the other fights that the Fushi Feather is useful on. It's a difficult choice to make, the Chun-Chan Pai or this one. Also, this is definitely not the Maga Sisters. Alright, peace out. Okay, there's one more fight in this boss gauntlet here. This is the funniest one because look where Yun's standing right here. He's standing right in front of him. He still has no moves that can hit him there. Nice miss.
効かないのか。
If Wise Fox's Grace ties up his feet here, unlucky. If it did, then I can kind of sunlock him. But yeah, in this formation, he can't do anything and he's forced to move. Oh, now he's paralyzed. You just kind of bully him for a little bit if you know that he has a dark spot up there. Feet, 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 feet. Yes. Loser, loser. Loser. I keep backstabbing him. Alright, so the main guy, O.D. Wan Lee, was hiding 2 more guys. So what we decided to do is we decided to split our efforts. The Shifu's going to take on the extra 2 assassins, and we get to take on the main boss ourselves. Also, here's where we learn Heavenly Peak's Descent, which is the ultimate Shifu move, I guess. You only get to use it once in this fight, and then you don't get to use it anymore. But I can... This is another fight that I can bully repeatedly, so it doesn't matter. In the original game, there was a glitch that let you bypass the check for if you had used the move already, so you could use it repeatedly. Oh, I got high enough damage rolls that I could actually kill him before he gets to attack me, so that was really good. Yun, in addition to having the least HP and being the fastest to train, also gets the fastest fight here. Hong and Lei both have moves that strong moves that use charge time. So they're a little bit riskier to fight him with, and you end up needing more armor pickups. But Yun can kind of just cheese him from a distance. Oh, anyway, the Shifu has passed away, and he passed his martial art onto Yun. So now Yun is the Earthen Heart Master. Anyway, here's present day. Here you get to play as Masaru Takahara in kind of like a Street Fighter World Tour sort of mode. Casually, this is the shortest chapter. And the speedrun Wild West ends up being about a minute shorter because you can skip cutscenes. The gimmick is that each of these opponents have special moves that you will learn if they use them on you. Yes, I believe Yun does have the most special attack. So I just learned Fleet Foot there, which is another flipping move. You'll notice that because he takes up 2 tiles and I only take up 1, he can't hit me with his move. He can't hit me back with his own move, even though I'm using it on him. So that's pretty funny. That's more bullying. Yeah, this battle theme is definitely a highlight. I think I like Near Futures a little bit more.
You win.
But it's kind of the same sort of sax jam kind of vibes.
That's Morgan. Okay.
Okay, come on, boy. Max Bomber, Ichiban.
Original character, by the way. So here's the primary strategy that's going to get used in this chapter. Since he can't hit me from behind, he has to waste his turn turning back around whenever he gets flipped. So this is also a stun lock, pretty much. Although Max Morgan also has a move that I want him to teach me, but I'll have him use it at the very end. Alright, I think after this one... Yeah, it should be good. I will use Gale Strike on him. This will inflict a status called Fury. And when he's inflicted with Fury, he can only use German Suplex on me. Despite the fact that he can also hit me with Max Bomber here. Max Bomber gets disabled, so I'm guaranteed to learn it here. And I'll use it on him, because I think he's low enough for that'll kill, but not for Fleetfoot.
Yes. You win.
Let's see, up next is Jackie Aokea.
Jackie Aokea. Okay.
Jackie Aokea has Monster's ultimate move. It's actually a secret, but it's too hard to get him to use it, and I don't need it. So I will be spamming Fleetfoot on him because that is he is weak to it. There's another This is a damage roll dependent fight. He has 576 HP. That what means if I see an average of 144, I will take him out in 4 hits. But most likely it's going to end up being 5 here. I got to hit 153 here. No. Yeah, a lot of the fights are damage roll dependent. Like the Seishi Motive, I could have taken out in 2 hits, and I didn't.
You win.
It kind of just so happens that that guy's HP is invisible by 4.
Okay.
And the move does about 144. Namkia is weak to German Suplex. I swear it's possible to take it out in 1 hit, but I've never done it before. I don't think that's enough. I don't think I did enough damage. I could switch over to Gale Strike for a faster animation to finish him off, but I don't think I did enough damage on the first suplex, so I had to use it twice. Suplex does a ton of damage to him, but pretty much everything else is really weak against them.
You win.
I've seen 255.
Great odds.
I have faith that 256 is possible, but I've never seen it. Alright, I'll do it for the fans. Oh my god, they killed Tolchan! I want to learn Frankensteiner off him. Got it first try. Frankensteiner is not possible to manipulate. Any place where you stand where he can hit you with Frankensteiner, he can also hit you with Bite. And so far as I know, there's no like bad status to get him to not use it. Not use Bite. Also, it would be really funny if that beer can did damage to him, but unfortunately it doesn't. Especially unfortunate because he probably would have died there in 2 hits if he took damage from the can.
Yes. You win.
Okay, up next is Tulahan.
Tulahan. Okay.
This is a damage roll that you definitely don't want to miss because he will take away like 20 seconds of your life. 222. All right, I trust that this will finish. 194, easy. No. So the backup plan I had in mind was just to go to his other side, but I had too much faith. I should know better. So the fight would have been over right now if that hadn't underdamaged. But alas. I think, yeah, that's all my moves. I have to wait out the debuffs. Just pass, I guess. Oh, actually, I think if I used focus, I would have removed it. Oh well. 69.
我が技が破れるとは。 You win.
Alright, so we have completed our world tour to become the strongest person alive. However, somebody else was on a similar world tour to become the strongest person alive. And he decided he thought the only way he could do that was by facing all these people and killing them in combat. So here we have our final opponent, Odie O'Bright. So for this fight, I'm mostly going to be spamming Frankensteiner, which is my strongest move. I do have to be kind of careful because if it misses, you actually damage yourself. So if you keep in mind the fact that you are less likely to miss if you attack from behind, you know, that helps a little bit, having that as a counterattack. It's slow, but chip damage is fine. If he turns to face me, it is risky to use Frankensteiner again. So just to be safe, I'll use German Suplex instead. Try to interrupt that. No, I didn't. So that's slow. That's why I wanted to cancel that. Ouchie. I'm going for it. That damage roll was disappointing, not gonna lie. 80. Thank you. Alright, easy fight. Kind of slowish, especially since he got a DDO off, but not a death. So yeah, really short chapter. Probably that was about 9 minutes. And on to Prehistory, starring Pogo the Caveman. In this chapter we play as Pogo, who is some kind of hunter's apprentice. So he starts his day by foraging for food for the village of cave people. Before we do anything that's actually important, we're gonna do this guessing game, this mini game. It's a 50% chance if I get this right or not. I failed it. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to watch the cutscene, and that will show you which haystack is the correct one. But it's faster to skip the cutscene and just guess. All right, third try is bad, but it's not sixth try, which was what YPB has. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those items, and we're going to take them over to the synth shop, and we're going to craft some other items. We're going to get a weapon for Pogo, a piece of gear for the final chapter, and a weapon that has some use later. Also, that piece of gear for the final chapter will also get a small amount of use in this chapter to speed up some fights. So for the last item I want to make, I need to use a bone, but I have the bone equipped, so I have to put something else on it in place. So the rough bands is the main reason why it's worth it to go out of my way to go to the synth shop, because it will save a lot of time later. Yeah, so this is the chapter is the one with the infamous IE mishap. It was avoidable for sure. They could have had They could have had him re-record the line. But whatever, it is what it is. So this is the introduction to how encounters work in this game. Encounters are on the overworld, but they're invisible. So the way you can locate them is by sniffing, and that will spawn a scent cloud where the encounter is located. It's a little bit deceiving because the scent cloud will show up where the enemy was when you sniffed, and then it will drift off in a random direction. But that's not exactly going to be where the enemy went. You can figure out where the enemy went by touching the scent cloud, and then you can see the encounter on the minimap. So what happened was, Pogo says one word at the end of this chapter. It's supposed to be the first spoken word in human history. And the word is love. The Japanese word for love is ai. And because they did not record an English dub for this chapter, they kept the English text as ie, as in like he was screaming. And love arguably has more plot significance, so it's disappointing that they went that route. I think at the very end of the game, if you started with Pogo, there is a little bit of dialogue that kind of clears that up. It says, yes, you sound like you're saying love or something, but it's really not much. It's funny, I actually did look into it, and this game came out in a bunch of other languages, and some of them got it right, some of them didn't. Yeah, there are other ways to say love in Japanese, but the one that they used here was ai, rather than koi or suki or whatever. Anyway, time to go back to bed. So, this is where the plot kind of takes off. There is a refugee from that woman right there. She's basically been captured by human sacrificers or cannibals or something, and now she's escaping, and she's hiding out in our village. So we're here to help her. Anyway, this is just... No, I have to... Oh, okay, I gotta pick up the meat. I always forget what to do here. Or I get distracted when I'm talking and I just don't remember what to do here. Ordinarily, the objective is perfectly clear in my head. So there's a lot of, like, going in and out of the same door twice in this chapter. I think it even happens again. Anyway, so we want to take her back to our room, but there's a guy sitting in front of the door. This guy's always sitting in front of our door. You'd think that he would get some manners and pick somewhere else to sleep, but alas. So we're going to hide her in the haystack again. Alright, so here, Beru, that's the name of the woman. She wants more meat. But you can also give her the rough bands instead. So that saves us from having to go out and hunt for more meat. Anyway, we're gonna head up here, and then the guys from the tribe of human sacrificers are gonna come looking for their sacrifice. They've already invented cars in the prehistory. I can't believe it. So here's a fight where you have to take out a bunch of guys. We don't have like any good AoEs, so we have to take them out one at a time. That guy lived on 1 HP. I'm very sad. Oh, I sleep. Oh, hell no, I sleep. They gave me that honk sure. Yeah, this is only the second time I've seen this formation as well. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna use Baru twice here. This fight has a lot of patterns, but there's usually a general theme of like 4 of them are bunched up in the top left and just kind of one off to the top right. This is the first fight with Zaki, who's kind of the leader of the tribe, or at least an influential figure in the tribe of some kind. Basically, you kick him around. He actually cannot hit you back here if you're off to like his left side. If you're directly behind him, or if you're behind him at all, he can hit you. If you're directly in front of him, he can hit you, but this is the one tile where he can't get you. Unfortunately, you gotta turn off there, but that's what happens when you have 3 other guys. Or 2 other guys that you have to pass turns with. I learned how to fart from that fight. Alright, so this is the first section where you can get into encounters that I don't want. So I'm just gonna kind of hope that that doesn't happen. I can figure out where the enemies are by sniffing, but that takes a little bit of time that I don't want to have to spend. The game totally expects you to like spend time here grinding and leveling up, but I'm not gonna do that, and I'm gonna be very under-leveled for the rest of the chapter, but I have ways of dealing with that. Well, yeah, we got kicked out of the village because we were causing a ruckus, I think. It's not clear what happens. I have an excuse for not knowing the story of this chapter because there's no dialogue. So we're going to face up against Zaki again. This one's a 1v1, so it's completely free. As long as you stay in the right tile. Pow kick ideally is a double hit. If you only get a single hit, that means one of them missed. And you're sad. Been very unlucky with the damage. I think that exactly killed him. I think he had 82 HP left. So that's cool. Alright, so we're gonna go wake up Gory.
Ooh.
Good. Go into the store here. So we had Mother 3 earlier in the marathon. Here it is again. Alright, you can get into an encounter on this screen too, and there's not much you can do about it because there's really tight passageways there. I guess I apologize for the bit rate. That's not much I could have done about it. I apologize on behalf of the bit rate. So yeah, they took Beru back, and so we're gonna go rescue her. Oh wow, only 3 encounters and only 1 on this screen. Pretty good. Yeah, I apologize. This game does look really good. I have all the settings set to low because I have low trust in hardware, and Square's PC ports aren't always the best optimized, especially this one. I think this is the part where you can go backtrack and see the Watanabe scene and fight the King Mammoth. It might be earlier, actually. One last dodge to do here. These guys you actually can see, so that's convenient. Yeah, you can also get the Rock of Rocks, because this game didn't have enough 2001 references in it. So it's this fight again. This time, you do not have to defeat him, you just have to get him to red health. Maybe slightly below red health. My theory is that they wanted to call this game Live a Life, but their grasp on the English language isn't that great. Anyway, here's the last boss. Repeatedly. Yikes. What am I doing? Okay. Pass, throw lizard, win game. So is it a problem with the feed, or is Twitch buffering? All right. Everything all right? Oops. I was gonna keep going. So, you haven't really missed anything. Once I caught word that the stream was having issues, I did pause, but otherwise it would have just been me throwing more lizards at the dinosaur. Everybody else is pretty much just dead meat. They either get killed in 1 or 2 hits. And they kind of bring in Zaki at the level that I don't know what level he is because you can't go into an equipped screen or anything like that. But they bring him in at the level that they kind of expect you to be at. Wow, I lived. Yep, one last hit. We did it. We saved the city. That's the theme of this game. Just 10 or 20 minutes or something, and then we did it. We saved the city. The end. We've got one more chapter of the first 7. And it's the Wiki Wiki Wild Wild West. So here we're playing as an outlaw named the Sundown Kid. And he starts off in a confrontation, a duel with his rival, the bounty hunter Mad Dog. For some reason, he didn't miss me, even though I lowered his accuracy. But that's good, because I can just finish him with a single shot here. So that's pretty simple stuff. So our wandering takes us to the frontier town of Success, where we decide to stop at the bar for a drink. When another ragamuffin comes in, tries starting some trouble with us. Alright, chat, say it with me. It's 12 o'clock! Nice. So everyone's impressed that we protected the bar from the bad guy, but then Mad Dog comes in and spills the beans that we're an outlaw. So we're about to go out and have another gunfight, another duel, but then we get ambushed by a bunch of bandits, and then we receive word that they plan on raiding the town the next morning. So the objective of this chapter is to go gather some items and set traps to ambush the gangsters as they come to ransack the town. So I'm gonna gather every trap, and plus a weapon for Mad Dog, who's going to be the main damage dealer of the fight at the end. If you get the best RNG of all time, it is likely faster. Even if you get the second best RNG of all time, it's likely faster to leave one guy, because the more traps you set, if you don't set any traps, the boss spawns in with like 15 other dudes. I'm gonna get rid of all of them. It's ideally faster to just leave one guy, but it's annoying. So I'm gonna be a completionist here and get all the traps. As you can see, there's a meter in the top right, and every time a bell, every now and again a bell will ring, and when the bell rings 8 times, then you're out of time. Also, when you send the tavern patrons to go set up the traps, they're also on a timer, and it takes each member, each person a certain amount of time to set the traps. So on paper, this entire chapter is an auto-scroller, but there's a way to make it faster, so it's not. So this poster up here, this is the one that you ideally would skip. But it doesn't matter that much. That's the first bell right there. So we're going to tell the sheriff that we're done, and we're ready to start setting up traps. We're talking to this kid Billy here. He gives us a slingshot. He's the only person who can set the slingshot, so we're going to let him do that. Annie here is the only person who can use the frying pan. And here we're going to order a drink from the bar. Ordering drinks from the bar removes all the wait time in between, like, the bells and the people coming back from their traps and setting their traps and stuff. So we're going to be making use of that to speed up this section. So this chapter is just us going to the bar and getting hammered repeatedly, which is exactly what you want to do before you get into a gunfight. The sheriff and Annie are the fastest people to set traps. So whenever they come back, I just go back to them. Especially since they spawn close enough. Audio glitching? Is it my microphone or is it just the game? If it's just the game, then that's kind of expected. The application audio is not the best. Okay. So assuming I did everything right there, we'll just be the one big guy and no ads. Yep, there he is. Alright, so I want to move him 3 tiles to the right, and then use Texas Jitterbug. Oh, there goes Sundown, I guess. I think I had a turn to react to that because I kind of saw him charging it up, and then I chose to ignore it. It's fine, Sundown's not needed. He's literally just bait. Easy fight. Alright, so now Mad Dog and Sundown get to have their duel. This is to the death, unfortunately. Unless you flee. You can actually flee from this fight and then fight him again later. And then that fight is not to the death, but... this will be the last we see of Mad Dog. No? Thank you? Okay. That's the worst move he can do, because that can paralyze you. And if it paralyzes you, you can be in some serious trouble. I actually have lost this fight before because he did that, but it's not common to see him use Ride the Lightning. Yeah, Odio is also a horse, by the way. because reasons.
気にならあったさ。
And with that, we are finished the first 7 chapters. But wait, there's more. Because how can you have a time travel themed game without a Middle Ages chapter? Okay, yeah, this is where the run actually starts. This is this is a really fun chapter, I'll say. So, starts out in a tournament. Okay, he decided to move down this time. I'm not going to complain. This is a tournament to win the princess's hand in marriage. Unfortunately, both of our opponents in this tournament do not know how to look behind them, so... Well, I guess they do, but they often choose not to. And by the time Strabo here turned around, it was too late. He's already dead. Anyway, yay, we win. And we get to marry the princess. However, as soon as we're start our honeymoon on the roof here, a dragon comes and starts causing trouble. What do I do here? That's fine. Same strat, get behind him, and I do not trust that I'm going to roll high enough with Bold Cut. Will his Valor Slash again. Anyway, as soon as we defeat that dragon, a evil beast called the Lord of Dark comes and snatches the princess away and takes him to the top of a mountain called Archon's Roost. So we are going to go try to rescue her. I can't really do it alone though, so we're going to have the other semifinals of the tournament, Strabo, join us. And then we are also going to enlist in the help of the last people who fell, the Lord of Dark, Hash and Uranus. Unfortunately, this chapter, and to a lesser extent the chapter after it, is quite a bit of walking simulator. Also, this is where they introduce random encounters into the game. The random encounters are fairly unintrusive. You expect to get 1 or 2 each screen, and like I said, running away is free. The problem comes when we want to start taking random encounters for experience, because certain ones will give garbage experience and certain ones will give a really good experience. But yeah, we have to go up and down this mountain repeatedly. Because first we're going to try to talk to Hash about what happened, but he doesn't want to talk to us. So we gotta go down and figure something out. I would say the final chapter is not nearly as bad as RNG with this one, but could be bias from how many garbage runs I've had on this chapter. I do wonder whose footsteps those are. Hi, bear. Anyway, Hash is right here. He goes back inside his house and kind of just stews at his own isolation instead of helping us. So our next stop is the village of Fugalia. All the way at the bottom of the mountain. Then once we go there, we gotta go all the way to the top of the mountain and talk to Hash again. And then we gotta go all the way down the mountain again to go to Archon's Roost. Great chapter. Actually, this is probably one of my favorite chapters to run. Because it's just because of how unpredictable it can be. But it's very front-loaded with walking. Yeah, in a speedrun, I'm not going to try to kill anything with Urset and Strabo. I do like running this chapter, but I will complain about it endlessly. Because when it goes bad, it goes so bad. If there's any indication about how bad this can go, there's a ton of healing items here. I'm going to pick up all of them. Anyway, here's Hash's friend Uranus, the white mage. We're going to bring him with us to go talk some sense into him. Still have a party that can't really kill anything. So, we're not going to be taking any encounters until we get Hash. There's the bear again. The bear is probably the best experience encounter we're gonna come across. So, to be able to see one when we can't kill it is disappointing. Sometimes in this chapter, I guess in any RPG that has random encounters, you'll get what I call a Skinnered encounter, which is when the encounter shows up 3 steps away from a door. Anyway, Hash still doesn't want to talk to us, but then he changes his mind, and now he's in a suit of armor. Now we're going to go pick up the weapon that I believe he used to slay the Lord of Dark. There we go. Give me 3 steps. Exactly. Right there. That was 1 step even. Anyway, his sword, the Bryon, is buried here. So we got to grab that so we can access the last dungeon. And as well as so we can make Hash even stronger than he already is. Also put him in the front. And now we're going on a bear hunt. This is the Final Fantasy V Beastmaster experience right here. Well, if step counter really truly carried all the way through transitions, you'd get like 1 foot into a map and get an encounter, which I've never seen happen. I have seen encounters fairly early though. Alright, here's the bear. He has over 500 HP, so he's quite tanky. I can't cancel that. So unfortunately that damage tile heals him, but he's also has his back facing me, and he is inflicted with fury, so this should... I thought it would take him out, it didn't. What do I do? Oh my god, stop. Stop healing! Okay, well, I guess I learned I can miss. I guess I figured it could miss. This is a little bit annoying. Well, my accuracy is -2 at this point, but I don't really have another option other than to keep spamming the move. I've never had trouble with the bear before. I mean, at that point, any other move other than Archon's Mark would also have a decent chance to miss, and if it didn't miss, it would do worse damage, so... I just had to keep throwing my dart at it until I hit, I guess. Okay, so the, I want to kill encounters until Erstead reaches level 5 before the next boss. To kind of get ahead of myself here a little bit. This chapter is actually twice as long as it initially lets on, and the second half of the chapter is done with Erstead solo. So I'm doing a good bit of grinding to get Erstead some of the levels I want him to have for after the boss. At level 5 he learns 1,000 cuts, which is useful for a segment immediately after this. I'll take this, assuming I get something good later. This is actually a pretty low value encounter. Never lucky. Ah, yeah, that can't flip me, can't it? Unlucky. Gotta do it again. So yeah, not surprising that Hash is the only person who can kill anything. Seeing how strong he is. And that did get Erstead halfway to the next level, which is to be expected because he's still pretty low. The people who made this game really liked this dungeon because they make you go through it 4 times. Clearly. I think this actually might level me. We'll see. Maybe it won't. I just kind of have it in my head that this is higher value than the last one. Okay, good. Got me to 4. I love going through the same dungeon 4 times. Part of my daily exercise routine. This is the best encounter you can get because you can defeat it immediately within 1 turn. It is a breakdown fight. Shoutouts to Armstrong, by the way. He's one of the quarterfinalists, or semi-finalists. He's one of the semi-finalists in the tournament, and he shows up again in the mountain and in here for no reason, really.
新たな力か。
まだまだ。
No, this is the right way. This is the right way. Forgot what room I was in for a second. Okay, I can't hit him from here. That's good. Alright, cool. What should I do here? Just go for this guy first. Okay, and then I'll probably counterattack here and finish him. Ah! Yeehaw. Alright, there's level 5. Just in time for the boss. No, I never attack with Strabo because he'll never amount to anything. Why bother? Alright, so here's the Lord of Dark. The strat is to use Archon's Mark, and then die to a counterattack, and then revive, and then rinse and repeat. It's pretty silly. This game does have random stat gains, yes. It pretty much never matters, though. I do always forget to talk about the statues outside this room. We'll see them on the way out. Yeah, in this chapter, you want good HP rolls, but the variance is actually a lot less than you might think. I have to use Archon's Mark a 3rd time because his health is not low enough for me to finish with something else. So yeah, every time he uses Retribution, all of his stats lower. So that's why it's doing more and more damage every time, because his special defense or whatever a stat blocks that damage keeps decreasing. So anyway, the reason why Hash didn't want to come fight with us is because he was dying of the Black Death the entire time, actually. So he's dead now. Also, Strabo dies in a cave-in. So sucks to suck, I guess. Also, that Lord of Dark was a facsimile of some sort, and was not the real one. And we didn't see the princess. So basically just everything just backfired. So we're just going to go to bed now and give it another shot tomorrow, I guess. All the random on the way back out of this dungeon, all the random encounters are disabled. So now I'm gonna loot this place. Some armor for Erstead. Also a healing item in here. I've alluded to this already, but I'm going to need pretty much all the healing items I can get. And there's one more item I want to pick up at the end of this hallway here. This is the Eye of Argos. It's fake. It doesn't work, but I'm going to pick it up anyway. I apologize, everybody. I've been talking for over 2 hours at this point. I'm going to grab a drink of water real quick. Probably should have done it while the boss animation was happening. That's like a controller down moment, but I forgot. Glug, glug, glug. It is a little disappointing that they don't just cutscene you back to the castle, but you know what? It does give us the extra opportunity to loot the dungeon, so, you know, whatever. I think optimally, best case scenario would be that once you leave the dungeon, you get cutscene back to the castle. But whatever, I didn't make this game. Anyway, sorry we couldn't find your daughter. Maybe we go to bed now. Please let us sleep in your castle. Hi, Strabo. Anyway, we get up to go to the bathroom or something, and then there's a Lord of Dark at the throne. Surely this is the real one, right? Yeah, we got rid of it. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, we just murdered the king. So we're gonna get chased out of the castle by guards. Except the guards are not gonna confront us at all because they think we're like they think that we're the Lord of Dark now, and they're too scared. So they're just gonna let us get away, and hopefully it works out. Who said anything about an accident? Wink, wink. Anyway, thus begins Ersted's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. So, at this point, I'm on the lookout for more decently valued experience encounters, because you can get random encounters here. Yeah, why not take this? It sucks, but I'll take it. The encounter that I like to see the most is 2 guards. Nice miss. Love it, love it. Thanks. As you can see, that took out of a while. That's why I would have rather seen fewer guards, because this is just like overkill in terms of how much experience I need. But there's going to be a little bit of a fight gauntlet coming later, and I ideally want to hit level 6 at the end of it. Anyway, to progress the story, you gotta talk to this boy. And then you get to go back to the castle and turn yourself in, pretty much. This time the guards figured out how to arrest you and throw you in jail. What happens if I hit level 6? The reason I want to hit the main reason I want to hit level 6 is because I want to hit level 7 after the coming boss. That's pretty much it. If I can't hit level 6 too early, that's not really a concern. Nothing bad would happen if I did. To be fair, I thought he wasn't going to attack me. Because if he had fear status, so I thought he was going to run away. Anyway, we get thrown in jail. Erstead gives us the last of his strength to go find the princess and reclaim her. But then the guards come in and they see that I'm out of jail and... did I say Erstead? I meant Uranus. Uranus is dead. So... they're really suspicious at this point. Oh, hello, sir. So now here's the escape sequence. We're gonna run away from the guards and we're gonna try to rescue Princess Alethea by ourselves. So Ersted's been hitting his 1,000 cuts for the most part. He only missed that one time, which is impressive. Nothing bad will happen. It's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Watch, he just dies to crushing blow here. Easy. Alright, back to Archon's Roost. Third verse, same as the first. Well, I guess it's the same as the first, but it's not the same as the second, because the second was on the way out. And that was backwards. Alright, we're coming up on what is arguably the worst part of the entire game. That's a really early spot to get this encounter as well. But, you know, whatever. Really unlucky to see 2 encounters on this screen. Alright, so this is the boss fight against Claustrophobia. The strategy is to hit her with a move called Wave Slash, which is not at the best accuracy in the world. Exhibit A. And she can, at any point, hit me with a full screen AoE. Do a lot of damage to me. Don't do that yet. Yep, that's this chapter, alright. Wow, I did damage to her.
Use.
And I gotta waste turns healing because she just hit so hard. I'm not even at full. The Balm Grass increases my accuracy in addition to healing me. It's fake. Accuracy isn't real. I don't think... I'm gonna bank on her not hitting 133 as a damage roll here. I'm still in the middle of the... I'm still kind of in the midst of trying to figure out what the best way to approach this. I used to go into this fight equipped with an item called the Solomon's Thigh Bone, but that drops my physical defense by 10. And I think that's bad for this, but it also increases my special attack by 10, which I suspect might be useful for another fight. So I'm going to equip it later. For marathon safety, I'm going to heal here, even though I can definitely finish her right now. Alright, could have been worse. Alright, level 7 teaches me a move called Mirrored Strike, which is actually going to be very useful for the very next fight against Scotophobia. Mirrored Strike is a unique kind of move. It's counterattack only. How much trading do I do for the final boss? I just try to get a couple levels. So Abyssal Drain will drain my HP and heal him. If I had been facing him, I would have counterattacked with Mirrored Strike, and that would have offset the damage that he heals by. So you'll see that come into play right here. So net more damage than he healed by. I want to. If he's facing me, I want to use Crushing Blow to try to turn him around. Because if he's facing me, he can use a move called Orb of Midnight, which hits me with a bunch of debuffs and does a lot of damage. Pretty scary to have to tank that. I think I finish here. That fight's not too bad. The real RNG point is, does he drop the Shroud of Demons? He's very likely to drop it, but he doesn't always. Okay, there it is. That will be put to use immediately. Alright, so here's a bunch of enemies on the screen. Real scary, like, except I can just throw this item, and that will kill the boss. The guy in the top left is the actual boss. Everybody else is just for show. Okay, actually, I should equip the thingamajig now, huh? Hello, corporate image, and thanks for the raid. All right, this is another really bad part. So this boss originally was called Feminophobia. In this translation, it was changed to Hygrophobia. We're gonna try to stone her. Never lucky. This is a bad position to be in. Easy. Okay, second try. Not only can that take a while, but it can get pretty dangerous if it doesn't happen fast enough. Alright, now to confront the Lord of Dark once again and rescue our princess. Hello again, Strabo. Do I go for it? It's not gonna happen. It never happens. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. Okay. It's dangerous to keep going for that because he can actually stone you. When I first kind of discovered that that was doable, I had like a 50% success rate on it, and now I just can never get it anymore. So the strat is the same as from the tournament. You get behind him and hit him in the back repeatedly. Alright, so story stuff. Strabo was pretty much behind everything. I have reason to believe that he created the fake Lord of Dark that we fought initially, and then he used magic to make it seem as if the room was caving in, and then he went to go rescue the princess for himself, while also framing him for regicide because he also created the fake Lord of Dark that was standing in the king's throne room. He did this because he was basically just jealous of me for being better than him at everything, and the princess actually ends up falling in love with Strabo, and then she goes to be with him, kind of Romeo and Juliet style. And now everybody in the entire world has turned their back on her instead, and he decides he's going to become the Lord of Dark now because what's the point anymore? So we're going to take our 7 party member characters here and say no, and we're going to bring him back from the brink. So this is the final chapter. Pretty much after each of the occurrences that we saw in the first 7 chapters, the Lord of Dark, Odio, approaches the characters and whisks them away to the Middle Ages universe. You can start with any of the 7 characters. You can actually start with Erstead too, but that takes you to a completely different scenario. And does not result in a good ending, which is the name of this category. The reason we want to... There's a couple reasons why we want to start with Sundown. Sundown spawns very close to the Bryon, which is a required item. Also, if you don't start with Sundown and you try to recruit him, you have to chase him around the map for a bit, and that takes kind of a while. The way you get the good ending in this game is you have to start with one of the 7 original characters and locate the other 6 and have each of them offer to join you. And then you'll be brought to the good ending scenario. After the final confrontation with Odio at the end. But yeah, Sundown is mainly just because of raw time save. He's not really going to come into play in any of the fights. He's just not that strong. He does learn a really overpowered move at level 16, but we're not going to get level 16 in this run. It's just too much grinding. Random encounters are also back in this chapter. If you run away from 100 fights, you'll have to face the secret boss, but the encounter rate isn't high enough where that's a problem. Now, in the original game, the encounter rate was a lot higher, and if you gunned it for the final boss, you probably wouldn't run into him, but if you tried to do all the optional stuff and you ran from every fight, you probably had a good chance to see him. Another raid, thank you, thank you. Hello, welcome raiders. We're here saving the world. Anyway, this is where Akira is. Akira is probably the worst character to recruit in this chapter, so we're just going to say no. But at least he knows that we're here. The secret boss is named... I forgot. Death Prophet, that's what it was. Death Prophet. Alright, so Pogo lives down here. We're going to recruit Pogo. We're not going to use him in the end game, but we want his inventory. And it doesn't hurt to get a couple levels on him either, although it's not super necessary. What a way to be introduced to the future, by the way. A cowboy shows up and starts shooting you in the face. Super nasty. Whoops. Yeah, there's the IE again, for those wondering about that. Horse. Nothing is really worth killing yet. We at least want to get Oboro, who's probably the best at killing stuff, before we start taking encounters. Speaking of which, he's right here. Alright, this fight can be a little sketchy. It's kind of hard to get into a position where he can't hit you with anything. In fact, I had to push him away. Otherwise, if I hadn't pushed him away there, he wouldn't have been able to use Firefall. Alright, so Oboro is going to be instrumental to our party. He just has a ridiculous kit of moves. He's probably the best character in the final chapter. Just casually, even. Although eventually, if you recruit the disciple, they will relearn Heavenly Peak's Descent at level 16, and it becomes spammable, and that's also pretty strong. So we've entered the castle, and Masaru is in the basement in the dungeon. Ordinarily, Masaru will fight you, but he doesn't want to fight Sundown because he has a gun. So we get to skip that. Another perk to grabbing Sundown, or starting with him. Here's where I'm going to start trying to take encounters, assuming they're fast to kill and give decent experience. Can't be bothered to kill this. Checks the good experience kill, but not checks the good experience box, but not the fast to kill box. So we're gonna ransack this entire room. We're gonna grab pretty much everything except for what's on the wall. A lot of healing items and various equipment. Oh, I already got those. Gonna gear up some of our characters here. I think that's right. When I first played this game, I named Sundown Irvine, because that's who he reminded me of. And then his name ended up being the Irvine Kid, and I thought that was kind of funny. Not what I was going for. So I'm going to take a little bit of a detour to go into this room, because it has a parasite sword in it, and a couple other useful stuff. This is a waste of time. I'm gonna do it anyway. Never mind. Do I cut my losses and run away? Never retreat, never surrender. Sundown doesn't fail to take the shot when it counts. Depends who you ask. Ah! Granted, we don't really... Sundown's ability to hit his shots isn't exactly crucial in this run, but... I've seen him miss plenty of times. So that took more time to kill than it was worth, but whatever. Didn't even get over a level. Garbage. Got an extra healing item out of that, though. That's actually quite decent. Anyway, here's the parasite sword. A fight later, it just takes way longer if I don't have that. Yeah, Devek, that's kind of what I mean about Sundown missing his shots. Like, it's never really needed for him to do that, but it's frustrating that he misses. Huh. Okay, the metal box was lower than I thought it would be. Had me worried I forgot it. Okay, so we just ditched Pogo and picked up Cube instead. Cube is the other, probably the main damage dealer for the end game. And now we're gonna head back to, you guessed it, Archon's Roost. Our favorite. Cube can take out this entire fight in one hit, but it's a range, and it's unlikely. I think it generally doesn't happen if I haven't geared him yet. Getting two of them was good, though. So the level targets... Oh, another rice ball. The level targets I'm looking for, the main one is level 10 for Oboro. You can do it at level 9, but it's more of a pain. Especially now that Oboro actually kind of needs to tank quite a bit of damage. So having the extra HP is better. But he learns the main move he needs at level 9, and level 10 is for insurance mostly. And then Sundown, we'd like to get to level 11. Generally, if he doesn't get to level 11 at the same time as Oboro gets 10, which he usually does, it's not really worth it to force it. But it speeds up some things towards the end of the game if he has 11. Oh, joy. The Cube counters attacks here, too. Usually does data recovery. Yeah. Anyways, you can see Cube is pretty good. And generally Masaru gets level 7, but his level isn't really important. And then Cube is permanently level 7. Yeah, I'm not touching this one with a 10-foot pole. I value my time, unfortunately. I'm gonna actually grab this. This is not needed, but I like to have it. So Sundown will still get experience because he wasn't deleted from the fight. This is one of the better fights you can get. None of those items are useful. That fight has a chance to drop an Izanagi scroll and a Fujin scroll. If I had gotten the Fujin from that fight, I would have definitely skipped the one that I just picked up. But I'd already picked it up anyway. This fight would get me to the levels I want, but it's a pain and I don't want to deal. I have plenty of time to get one more encounter, that's good. Alright. Last menu. God, there's those 2 items on the bottom there. Okay. Something like this. What the hell? I didn't put this on. That fight can also drop a robot part on that subject. The 2 bulldozers and the rabbit, whatever you call it. You know, if I get a robotic part, I would probably use it, but it's 10 HP and 1 accuracy and 1 evasion. It's ultimately kind of insignificant. Alright, there's 11 and 10. So I'm done grinding. I'm gonna run from everything now.
次の相手だ
So yeah, now that we're running from everything, we would like to see fewer encounters rather than more. We don't want Leonard Skinner to make an appearance. There's a healing item in here. It's mostly for safety. And like real PB attempts, I would strongly consider skipping this. And then the golden burial gown is in here. I have considered skipping this in the past, but I think it's not worth it. And yeah, that's all the items we need. So we're on to the final fights. I'd say there's some 20 to 25 minutes left in the run at this point, depending on what happens. Won't you give me 3 steps? Give me 3 steps, mister. Give me 3 steps towards the door. Give me 3 steps. Give me 3 steps, mister. And you'll never see me no more. Alright, who's ready for the emoji boss? I have to imagine Octopath. People who made Octopath probably at least played this. I know that the Octopath definitely inspired the decision to remake the game. All right, so here we got 2 eyes and a mouth. We want to get rid of the mouth as soon as possible. So we're gonna dump a huge ass damage item here on him, and he still has 441 HP left. This guy has a ton of HP. I play it safe and I heal here, I think.
使え助かった
Yikes. Whoopsies. So, I don't know, he outsped me, and not much I could have done about that. If I had not moved Oboro up 1 tile, that wouldn't have happened. But the problem is that Oboro dying in this fight is even worse than Cube, so... I mean, ideally nobody dies, but... I'd much rather, the one risk I did take over the other. See if I can get a bit of chip damage here. Well, ideally nobody dies. I think Masaru dies here. Gonna take an Alt F4 here. It's early enough in the fight there that I feel like, despite that possibly being salvageable, I don't want to deal. But yeah, that's why the mouth is such trouble. But yeah, I've never seen Masaru die, but it makes sense that he would, because I guess the mouth can do anything. Alright, mulligan. Mulligan! The annoying thing about the Parasite Sword is that if it misses too much, it won't do cap damage. I didn't move Oboro this time. I mean, I don't think that's really my problem here, but... see what this guy does. Okay. I played safe and I think I got heal wall here. Nice miss. Alright, well I really want to get rid of the mouse sooner rather than later, so I'm going to attack. Possibly opening myself up to some shenanigans. We'll see. Okay, I lived this easily. Okay, I did not realize he would go his turn first. So Master's basically just on healing duty for this entire fight. Rush fire might kill here. Probably not. Just go for that again because I missed him the first time. Not having monster get taken out again.
Smart.
Cringe. The face is not being nice today. Make me use 2 of my Izanagis already. Might actually have to rely on Sundown here again. See ya. Okay. Mouth gone. Alright, now I'm going to focus on the eyes. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a Maser Cannon off on the right eye, so he's going to be around for a lot longer than I'd like. But Obero's going to take care of him with Dust Veil. And Cube will take care of the other one with Maser Cannon. Also, Sundown is going to act as a human shield. Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I think if Obero gets hit by anything, it'll probably be Stare Daggers, which I'm pretty sure he survives here. I'm also aware that moving Obero at the start makes it so that Cube gets hit by Expunge. It's just that the alternative is that Obero gets triple tapped and dies. It's just kind of a scary situation regardless. It's also not guaranteed that he uses Expunge. He also sometimes just moves for no reason. So yeah, Sundown is out, and if he gets hit again, he'll be gone for good, and we don't care. Because like I said, Sundown makes very minimal contributions to the fight. So the good news is that because he actually has no HP left, he won't heal off of that. Anyway, also this move, the item, the lacquered medicine box, is the one that I picked up at the end of the ninja chapter. It's infinite use, no charge time. It buffs all 7 of your stats, and it has a good range too. It's kind of the missing piece to the puzzle of the strategy that we use on the second phase of this fight as well, because of its range. Oh, I guess Sundown technically was important this time, that is true. Casually, this boss is annoying. You'll I've arranged my characters in an L shape in the bottom right corner, and that's kind of important for cheesing this fight. The second phase specifically. Okay, so that's the face gone, and now we are on to the second phase, which is purity of Odio, I guess. Also, bring out the dancing emotes again, because I think this is probably my favorite track on the soundtrack. Actually, I'm gonna heal. Because why not? Okay, so strategy here is try to poison him. Got the evasion down, but not much poison. So this was a strategy that I kind of tried in the past, and I didn't like it because it seemed like it was too risky. But then Devek kind of found that the missing piece of the puzzle was the lacquered medicine box and the long distance healing it affords you. Let's go second try. Second try really good. Unfortunately, I can't move. I probably should have thought of that before I used that item. I could have used a better item. So large chunks of damage are going to come out of this boss from the poison. See, that's 135 right there. It does get less effective as it, I gotta use Nizanagi again. It gets less effective as his health goes down. Because it does fractal damage based on your current HP. I'm really hoping I don't regret using that, because he might also okay, he didn't. So now the primary strategy from here will be to use Wind Slash on the boss to attempt to lower his special defense, and then try to take out large chunks of his HP with Mazer Cannon, which will do largely increased damage if I can get his special defense lowered, which has not happened yet. You need the Banshee Scream? No, you don't. I sure as hell don't need it. So as you can see, it's kind of weakling damage. If you get enough stacks of special defense down, it can do up to over 400 damage. And when I'm arranged in the shape, Denial is the only move it can hit me with. So, as you can see, the fight was a little bit risky earlier on when Oboro was able to get hit with Expunge and Shadow of Despair. And now that's just not an issue anymore, as long as I move Oboro back into position after he gets moved. And yeah, he can't use Denial 2 turns in a row. And he can't do anything else. Like, he can't move. Like, he's programmed to not be able to move for some reason. This Mazer Cannon probably won't go off, but... So, he will skip every other turn. Okay, there's the first special defense down. The buff wore off. That's why that did disappointing damage. But yeah, 197, a lot better than 80, whatever he had. not poisoned anymore. Yeah, sometimes the poison just wears off randomly. Generally, it doesn't. Alright, I'm a believer. Hit, hit, hit. Alright, there we go. Decent fight. Okay, so there's still like 10 minutes left in the run. That looked very final bossy, but it's not over yet. Because now Ersted's going to tell us to finish him off as punishment, but we say no. The cool thing about this chapter is that there's no point of no return. So if you did not get the requirement for the true ending, you can just go and do it now. And come back and unlock it. Even though you've already beaten, what looked like the final boss. Anyway, it's time for a refight gauntlet. We have to refight all of the forms of Odio from the first 7 chapters, but they've all been turned into 1v1s, so we don't have any party members and the bosses won't have any ads. But you can't? I'm pretty sure that's wrong. Oh. Well, I'll take your word for it. You sound like you know what you're talking about. I thought you could just go. Classic. So interestingly, some of these bosses are weaker than they were originally. Some of them are stronger. This one has more health, simply because at this point you expect Cube to be stronger than he was in this chapter, so they kind of inflated his stats to compensate. This boss is mostly the same because, you know, you're still 1 versus 1. Except he spawns at a different location for some reason. Here I don't have Heavenly Peaks to set anymore, so I'm just gonna be throwing fire at him. This is the first attack we've seen this guy get all game. Alright, for Gamma Heavy, I think this guy has less health for some reason, probably because the prisoner is in here. The strat is exactly the same, but it's over a lot quicker. Alright, this one's a little tricky because Pogo is still very weak and can get 2 hit. But I picked up some really strong damage items specifically for this fight. I'm gonna go Charm second turn, I think. Second turn. Cool. Alright, this guy has the same amount of health that he did in the chapter proper, but he has a lot more defense. Also, Frankensteiner is not good here. One, because it scales very heavily off of level, and I just don't have the levels to make it any good. Also because it scales off of special defense, and I'm wearing a piece of gear that lowers my special defense by 20, so it's not worth it to use it. So I'm just going to be using German Suplex. And if I see him charging up his move again, I'll use Fleet Foot, but other than that, no reason to change course. I said he had less HP, didn't I?
初めてだぞここまでの相手は
Yeah, he has less HP, but he has more defense. He just takes less damage.
死んだよ
Oh, did I say he had the same HP? I think I did. And I think I knew that was wrong, but I said it anyway. Classic. Surely I hit 68. Yeah, easy. Alright, here's the alternate strat for this fight. Open with Marduk's Rage. If he gets hit with Fury, then I know that it worked. Yep, there it is. So now the only thing he can do is Odeo kick. And he will take double damage from this move. Fight's over in 3 turns. Alright, this is the fight I wanted level 11 Sundown for. His level 10 move is almost as good as this, but this is just a little bit better.
かすり傷よ
なめてて悪かったよ
テストの出前だよおめえら
Yes, I agree. Thank you for healing. Alright, so in the original game, this was the very end, but they gave us a bonus final boss in this game. So it's pretty cool. This fight is possible to game over on, but it's really a cutscene first and foremost. So the strategy is one more tile. Strategy is I go up and I try to poison him. So you're gonna see that he has a health pool of like 1600 HP. It's fake. I think you only have to do like 1000 damage or 1100 damage or something to him, and that'll push him to the second phase. Then at the second phase you only have to do like 300 damage, I think, and that'll push him to the last phase, and then you only have to hit him once. Good night, Cube. You tried your hardest. First try poison pretty much guarantees this fight is not a problem at all, though.
Oi.
And yes, a banger to close out the run. Who knew that after Megalomania came Gigalomania? That must be a reference to Elon Musk. The only gigalomaniac I can think of. He's charging up a nasty move here, but he's ideally never gonna get a chance to use it. And then, yeah, that's a good point. You can't get dismissed in this fight for story reasons, because there's a part near the end that you need everybody for. And then I push into the second phase. So the other 3 characters that I don't have are going to show up here. So this here's where the golden burial gown comes in. Does a ton of damage. Creates poison tiles everywhere, and it knocks you out. But as you can see, it immediately ended the second phase. Mostly because Yun has such high special attack. And now everybody is here. Unfortunately, this part of the fight is scripted. So you don't actually get to do anything with them. Or you can do stuff with them, but it doesn't matter. You just pass. It's faster. Now Ersted's going to break out of the body of the Sin of Odio. And he's going to kind of redeem himself. And then when he does, Ersted gets the last hit on the boss. This game uses FF6 timing, so the time will be when the boss starts flashing. One last poison tick, of course. Use bold cut because it's shortest animation, so far as I can tell. And that is time. Alright, I hope everybody enjoyed watching that. Shoutouts to Live Alive speedrunning community. Shoutouts to Octopath speedrunning community. Shoutouts to East speedrunning community. Final Fantasy VIII. I don't know, all the games I ran before. Nice people. And thanks to RPG Limit Break channel for having me, and to Questing for Glory. And, you know, I don't know, all that good stuff. I guess whenever you're ready to move on, that'll be it for me. Keep things moving. And thanks for GG's, everybody.